Hello and welcome everyone to a new video on our YouTube channel. So today's video we're going to be showing you how to do a transmission oil change on this 2004 Nissan Murano. So this car has a special transmission which is the CVT transmission, so it requires special fluid. So we're going to drain the transmission. We are also going to remove the oil pan, fix an oil leak around the oil pan, and also replace the oil filter inside of the transmission. And we're gonna go through the special transmission fluid that it requires when we reach the time to fill it up. First, we're gonna jack the car up, put it on some jack stands, and start draining the transmission. Okay guys, so we broke it free, this 19mm drain bolt. Now I'm gonna remove it and let the transmission drain out. Now, if you notice, this car is only front wheel drive, not as the other Nissan Muranos, which are all wheel drives. Which this is better because it puts less stress on the transmission, which makes it live longer. These transmissions are known for being not that reliable, but if you have it in two-wheel drive, it lives way longer than all-wheel drive. That's if you maintain it. And also, if you're getting or planning on getting one car like this for yourself, I suggest you get one front-wheel drive. And if you have a an all-wheel drive version and your transmission blows out, just get yourself a front-wheel drive transmission and delete the rear-wheel drive, because it's not an off-road car, it's an SUV for the city, and it will be more reliable. Now we're gonna start unbolting the oil pan. Now, since this car is two-wheel drive, we have less stuff in the area, so we have more working space. And just like that, we cracked open the transmission. Now we're gonna start removing the oil filter. So one thing to note is that on this hole here, the bolt is a little bit shorter than the others, so keep that in mind when you reassemble everything back together. Now we can pull the filter, slide it out just like a little bit to clear the. Now, just like that. Out with the old and with the new. Now we got ourselves the new filter. We'll start by installing it. Just like that. Remember, the small bolt goes like that. The filter has no gasket between it and the valve body, so no need to think about it. Guys, so now it's time to install the gasket. Now, whether I'm reusing an old gasket or putting in a new one, I always like to put a thin coat of RTV around both surfaces to cover any scratches that might cause a leak because of an imperfection in the transmission or the oil pan. As you can see, we cleaned the oil pan and we scraped both mating surfaces on the transmission side. We cleaned it up with the solvent and now it's ready to be installed back in. Make sure you reinstall the cooling fins under the oil pan. They share the same bolts with the oil pan, so be careful. Guys, so now with some thread sealer on the drain plug and a new crush washer, I'm gonna set her back in. And then we're gonna snug her up, just so we won't forget about it later. Yep. Enough. Okay guys, so after putting everything back together, it's now time to fill the transmission with some CVT automatic transmission fluid. So where you fill it is from the same place where the dipstick is. You use a special funnel, like the one that we're gonna use right now. Okay guys, so make sure you use some quality CVT oil. As you can see, it's verified by Nissan. Okay guys, so when we drained the transmission, we drained about 6 liters. So this is number 6. We're filling about 6 liters now. We're gonna wait for it to settle down and come back tomorrow in the morning. Check the fluid. If it needs to be added a little bit more, we're gonna add it. We have a spare liter. Then we'll be buttoned up. We ended up using 7 liters of CVT transmission fluid. In your case, it might not be the same. You need to drain the transmission out, measure the amount that you drain, and add the same if the transmission was not running low. If it was running low, make sure you add it until it's on the dot. And just like that, we showed you how to drain the transmission out, how to remove the oil pan and fix the leak around the gasket of it, and also how to replace the filter of the transmission along with the special fluid that it takes. With that being said, this is going to be a wrap for today's video. In the upcoming videos, I'm going to be showing you how to replace a bunch of sensors on the car, like the crank position sensor and the oxygen sensor, sensor 1, bank 1, which is the most difficult to reach. So stay tuned for that and see you on the next one. Peace.